I will hit record and turn it over to our presenters.
That's great. Thank you. Adriana, let's do some introductions if we can. My name's Kelly. I'm a former teacher and also the founder of SquidBooks. And I'm excited that you're here today. But I want to say, if you pick the wrong session and you want to back out, it's okay.
I'm Hannah Nelson. I'm the product owner at SquidBooks, and yeah, I'm really happy to share with you today.
Adriana, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're coming
Yes,
from? And
yes. I'm Adriana, and I am from Colégio Notre Dame de Campinas in Brazil, and it's a K-12 school, and I am the coordinator of the international programs. Okay, so that's why I'm interested in SquidBooks, to learn more about it.
great. And do you say you're the coordinator of the international programs? Is that instruction? What language of instruction is that in?
English, yeah,
It's in
English.
Okay.
We have 3 optional programs. One is the bilingual programs for kindergarten and K1 to K5, grades 1 to 5, and then a middle school program to middle school to K8, and then the high school program. And they are all optional programs in the counter period. Okay, but we have many students. We have a total of more than 500 students currently.
Okay, that's great.
And, okay.
Super. Well, let me just tell you, our plan for today is just give you a little bit of background on SquidBooks, and then we're actually going to walk you through the application. We'll show you how to do a variety of things, and feel free to stop us at any point and ask questions. This is for you. So if you're like wondering about something, don't feel like you have to wait at all. So great.
Okay, thank
Hannah,
you.
do you want to? I don't know if you have the. Do you have the ability to?
I'll share my screen here. Oh boy. Okay, what can you see?
Yeah, that's perfect. We can see the first slide, Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I can't see it. Okay, here we go. Now I can see
Oh, you
it.
can't see it. Okay. That's okay. I mean,
no, I got it now.
The only thing I wouldn't do, Hannah, I wouldn't click. Oh, well, it seems to be working. That's good. I was gonna say not to click that button because sometimes it can like take over your screen. But anyhow, we'll see how it goes. So
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be working. Adriana, the most important person is you. Can you see that screen?
Yes,
Okay.
Go ahead. That's okay.
Okay, terrific. All right, so we're SquidBooks. And our mission is really to make science accessible for diverse learners. We fundamentally believe that every child has a fundamental right to engaging and appropriately challenging curriculum. And we use a variety of different forms of software to personalize learning for students. And we're thinking all the time about how can we, instead of having pitching it to the middle, right? How can we create software that adapts to children? And how can we create software where teachers can customize it for the kids in their actual classroom? This is the inspiration for SquidBooks. This is my first school that I taught at. This is my first group of students. I taught in New Zealand for 3 years when I first started teaching. I did my student teaching there and I stayed there. And this was 9PZ is what they call it, because in New Zealand, Z is Z and my last name is Puzio. And so, I can still remember all the creativity and the energy, the boundless energy that these students had. And, to a large degree, I spent hours, as you can imagine when you're teaching, you spend a lot of time trying to adapt the curriculum for your students. And, these were the first students that I taught. The story of the SquidBooks team is really one that's connected to the Holy Cross Education Network. When I taught at a school outside Washington, D.C., I taught at Bishop McNamara High School. One of the students, when you're teaching, of course, you really form deep bonds with some of your students. And one of those students was a student named Richard Bean. And he ended up becoming a software designer. And he was working for IBM and another company at the time when I had the idea for SquidBooks. And I reached out to him and said, hey, look, I have this idea for SquidBooks. What do you think about it? And he was the one who ended up, a lot of the art that you see, a lot of the software that you see was really designed by him. And he connected us up with other people. And probably about half of the people on the SquidBooks team right now, we're in our core group, we're 12 people, but we have probably another 20 scientists and teachers who help us. And I would say about half of our core group was educated at some level, either elementary school, secondary school, or university through a Holy Cross school. And of course, I think this is without saying, we're really inspired by the work of teachers, and our work is fundamentally trying to help teachers do their work. The problem with, I don't have to teach you about the problem, but I'll just say this quickly, is that, traditional resources are challenging to be used. This is a statistics from the United States. I don't know the statistics from Brazil, but 66% of the students in the United States cannot read grade level content. And as everyone knows, science content is very complicated to understand conceptually and linguistically. A lot of the concepts and the terminology used in science are nested. So how are you going to understand DNA if you don't understand what a cell is, if you don't understand what a gene is? They're nested concepts inside of each other. And traditional learning materials don't have learning analytics. And so what we're trying to do is provide the future, essentially, of what curriculum could be in SquidBooks. We've done multiple field trials. This is data from 2 of our trials here that show students actually learn more when they use SquidBooks as in comparison with other texts and other resources that teachers use. And here we have a pretest where the beginning of a unit, one of the units was on genetics, and another unit was on the water cycle. You see at the beginning there, this is what students scored, and at the end, everyone does better, but the students who use the SquidBooks material actually learned more. And this is, and students, Hannah's running another field trial right now with some teachers. Students love SquidBooks. I can't tell you, we get like 25, for every one comment of like, fix this, it's like 25 of this is great. And here's some of the things that students have written down for us when students use it. They say, well, the graphics are, we spend a lot of time working on the visual dimensions of it, and you'll see that students can customize the text. Hannah will show you that. I wish it had sound effects. We're working on that. We are working on more sound effects. And students like having an interactive resource that really guides them through the learning that can be made easier or harder at any time. And we'll show you that. And at this point, I'll pass it over to Hannah. She's gonna walk us through it. And yeah, I'll stop talking.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I will just walk you through the application. Okay, what can you see now? What am I sharing now?
I can see SquidBooks, Science Period 3, 5th period.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is the classes page for a teacher. If I'm a teacher that has a SquidBooks account, this is where I go to see my classes. We have 3 main sections of SquidBooks, the classes, our browse section, which is where we have all our science content, and then the reporting page. So I'll take you through all 3 of these sections, and we'll start on the classes page. And again, please feel free to stop me or jump in at any time if you have questions about any of this. So here, I've created 3 classes already. It's easy to create new classes in SquidBooks. I can create one right now, or I could import it from Google Classroom. We have an integration with Google Classroom. So if I have all my classes set up with Google, I can just import those in, and we connect with all the rosters and the student names so that we can actually pass data back and forth from SquidBooks to Google Classroom.
Excellent. We use Google Classroom for all for our classes. We have, and I as a coordinator, I have access to all the groups, okay, of my teachers and all the students, and I usually access them to follow what the teacher is teaching and how the Google Classroom is being organized. It's very important for us.
That's great. Yeah, then we connect right up with Google Classroom. We try to make it really easy to use in that way.
Excellent.
Yes. So I'll go into one of these classes here. And this is where my assignments would show up. I think I have this one that was due in the past. So when I create new assignments, they'll show up right here. I also have my list of students. This is my demo account, so I don't have very many students, but I can manage students from here. We do have the ability to edit student details. So if a student has forgotten their password, which we know middle school students may have forgotten a password once or twice, a teacher can go in and directly reset that password right from here, immediately get that student a new password so they can get logged in and do their work. We also have some settings here to help a teacher organize and categorize students. So those things will show up on this list. And then you can filter and sort by the details that you have matched with different students. We also have some settings where you can edit what the student has access to on SquidBooks. Like Kelly mentioned, we are really interested in creating resources and curriculum that are personalized for students. So we know in a class of 25 students, there's 25 different sets of needs. So we're trying to really create a tool for teachers to be able to meet those needs without doing all the extra work by themselves. So I'll show you more about that when we get into what the assignment tasks look like. So I'll take you into Browse. Can you see the Browse page now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is where we have all of our science content. We have content in earth science, life science, physical science, and space science. And all of our assignments are aligned with the disciplinary core ideas from the next generation science standards, which is a very, very common standards here across the US. I don't know what you use in Brazil, but that's how we've organized the content here. So you can search by a disciplinary core idea, or you can browse through all our content here. We have some of our content is available in Spanish, and we are working on translating more and more of our content into Spanish. Right now, actually, we started a new translation project. So here's what an assignment looks like. All of our assignments have 5 tasks. We have an article, video, graphic organizer, vocabulary exercise, and a quiz. And each of these tasks works together to support the same core concept, in this case, forces and interacting objects, what happens when 2 objects interact. So we can take a look at each of these different aspects. So here we have the article. You can see we try to choose a lot of images. We know middle school students love to see images. We've also spent a lot of time creating we create all of our diagrams in-house to really focus on specific science concepts and make those clear for middle school students visually. So we have a lot of diagrams and images throughout our texts. And then the text itself has a few different features, as you can choose to increase the font size, you can actually change the font if you want to.
Não,
or change-
deixa assim agora, porque só tem eu aqui, ela tá explicando pra mim.
What was that?
Yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And then we have our replaceable word feature. So you can see the science terms in the article are, they're showing up in green. And if you click one of these, you can see a synonym, and you can click again to see another synonym, and then click again to see the science term back again. So students don't have to go to another place to look up these science words. They're defined for them right in the article. And they can reinforce that by looking at the term, looking at the synonym, flipping back and forth if they want to. And these are all throughout the article. We offer all of our texts at 5 reading levels. So this is level 1. We have 5 different levels, and this term support is available at all 5 levels. The reading levels correspond to grade levels. Approximately grade 3 to 4 is level 1, and then all the way up to grade level 12 at level 5. This article is also available in Spanish. So all the features I just mentioned are also available in Spanish. There's the 5 different reading levels with the science term support in Spanish as well. And we also have a reader function, a text-to-speech function, so a student can listen to the text read to them in English or Spanish. And I think one of the things we always get comments about from students is our different backgrounds. We have some different reading themes that students can choose to sort of personalize their reading experience, and we always get some good feedback from kids on that. They like to be able to do that. And then finally, in the reader, we have our notes and highlights feature. So you can keep notes here. You can also highlight anything in the article in your favorite color, and that will be saved in that side panel as well. And it also sticks on the text. So students can read, whenever they revisit this article, they'll see their own notes and their own highlights, which is great. So that's that for the article. I'll go back in and take a quick look at some of the other tasks we have. Oh, oops. I'll go back into browse. So we have videos. Oh man, I gotta start my free trial. I gotta just log in here. Okay, so we choose videos to accompany and support our science assignments. And many of these videos we make from Squidbooks, and some of them we partner with other science teaching platforms like SciShow Kids or National Geographic. So we have a variety of videos. This one is from Squidbooks. We have them subtitled in, again, English or Spanish. We have, let's see. We have several rap videos that are original raps about different science concepts, which are super fun. So there's quite a few of those throughout the application. Next, we have our graphic organizer. So the teacher actually has the ability to determine which level a student can take the graphic organizer at. So we'll try easy and do it in English. Again, I can choose between English and Spanish. So here, a student needs to categorize key ideas from the article into 3 different categories. They get feedback right away about whether their answer is right or wrong. And then we've built in these little celebrations after each of our assignment tasks to help a student, just to make it fun for the kids and to celebrate what they're learning. We also have the vocabulary exercise. So this again, it takes the science terms from the article and puts it into a game where students match the science term with the synonym. And they can practice that and they get feedback right away there as well. There's several rounds here to help reinforce the learning, but we won't go through all of them. And then finally, there's the quiz. All of our quizzes have 12 questions of varying difficulty levels. So let's see, motion is the act of an object, changing position. I'll submit that and I get some feedback on my answer. I can go to the next question. I can also skip around to questions if I want to, answer them in whatever order I want. I can switch to Spanish at any time during this quiz. I can also get a hint if I need help on an answer. I can get a hint. And then if I had taken notes in this article, they would show up right here. But this is telling me I did not take any notes. Because I think when I took those notes, I was not signed in. So you have to be signed in when you're taking your notes, and then they can help you on your quiz. And these are some settings that, again, a teacher has control over. So if a teacher chooses, I don't want my students to have hints on the quiz, they can turn that off from their teacher side. So those are the major assignment tasks that we have. So any assignment that a student does will have those 5 things. And once students complete assignments, as a teacher, I can go to this reporting page and get some detailed reports about how students are doing, what they're understanding, and what maybe they need more support on. So we know, we hear from teachers a lot that they are asked to make data-driven decisions about instruction. It's really important for their administration to understand, why teachers are doing what they're doing, and data is where it all comes back to. So this is a really great, it's not only a great tool for teachers, but it's a great resource to be able to see, look, this is exactly what my students know, and this is how I know that they know that. So this breaks it down by average quiz score, the average time it took students to do all 5 assignment tasks. The hardest concept, we take this from the quiz, and then the hardest word we take from the vocabulary exercise. So we break it down by task here. You can see what percent of your class has completed those tasks, how long it's taking them on average, what level they're doing things, and then their average scores. We also break the quiz results up by concept. So each of our articles teaches 3 concepts, which we explain here. And then we map those onto 4 different cognitive demands that determine the difficulty of each quiz question. So here you can see laid out really, really precisely what do my students know and how deeply do they understand each of these concepts. And then finally, we have the performance summary. So this maps each student along the time and the score. So how long did it take them to do the quiz, and then how did they do on the quiz? So that's just another piece of data here. Now, all of this is your entire class together. These are all averages, but if I want to see what individual students have done, I can come over here to students and see all of her information. So she got 92% on this quiz, took her 9 minutes. So all of that is right here for every student. And then I'll just go back into the classes for a moment and show you where a teacher can edit student access. So as we know, data-driven decisions are important for teachers. And so while you're evaluating how a certain student did, you might come to realize, oh, this student's really struggling, or this student's doing great. I'm going to adjust their content permissions so that they're accessing different levels, the levels they need that will support them the most. So I can come to this student access panel and decide, Melissa maybe she's struggling a little bit, so I'll set her graphic organizer at easy, give her the option between an easy and medium vocab exercise, make sure those retakes are turned on for her so she can show me what she knows. And then maybe on the quiz, I just want 3 answer choices instead of 4 for the multiple choice questions. And I'll make sure she can see those hints and see those notes. So then I can save those. So that enables the teacher to have really precise control over what each student is doing based on what that student needs. So yeah, at every level of Squidbooks, we've really built in this ability for students and teachers to make decisions together about what the best level is for them to access content. So yes, those are the 3 major areas. Do you have any questions, or is there anything you'd like to see more of or see again?
No, that's great. Well, first of all, congratulations for your work. It's really a great tool, and I think it's very useful for the teacher, because you have, as you said in the beginning, the teacher is going to save time when planning his classes, because you have many aspects. You have the articles and the videos and assessment and games, all these things. Okay, in our bilingual program and the middle school as well, our focus is on science, right? And that's why it's very interesting to know this app, okay, this tool, because we teach in that approach, clear approach, content and language integrated learning, and we focus on language, of course, and then on science, right? Because I think we think that science is very motivating for the students. Okay, they like it, they are very curious, and we start teaching science in Kinder 1 students, Kinder 2, then K1 through K5, and then, grades 1 to 5, and then middle school, 6th to 7th and 8th grades. And we have science for all those students, right? And this, all these contents you showed me, like forces, motion, and water cycle, all the life science and environment, and then something about physics and physical science, chemistry and physics. And that's great. That's great. A great a tool you developed. And tell me, do you have many schools that use it nowadays?
Yeah, right now we probably have, last month we probably had about 8,000 students using it, and growing every month. So yeah, not many that I know of from Brazil. We do have some in Vietnam, some in Saudi Arabia, mostly in the United States right now, but would love to have some folks using it in Brazil.
Oh, yes, yes, we can. Yeah, we can talk about it. And are you going to send me some kind of, the costs of it, and how how can we enroll, and okay, the subscription works is, I think it's for each student, right? It's per student, and then.
Yeah, we have teacher subscriptions, and then we have a school subscription.
Okay, yeah.
So we can send that to you right now. We actually have we're running our spring sale, and we're happy to send that to you. But if you enrolled for a school subscription, then it would be for everyone in the entire school, every teacher, every student, everyone. Yeah.
No limit of students. No
limit at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And the subscriptions, they last a year, right? They are
Yeah,
yearly
last year.
subscriptions.
It lasts a year. When is your calendar for your school? When does it start and end? When?
Yes, yes, it's different from the American calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, we start in by the beginning of February. Okay,
Okay.
and then go through. We stop in July. Okay,
Yeah.
our winter vacations, and then we go through the beginning of December.
Okay.
Okay, very beginning
Yeah.
of December. So it's different from yours because you start now, right?
Yeah. You're on the
Second
same.
semester, our second semester. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the same schedule that I had in New Zealand. They have, it's basically just the opposite, but I know
Yeah.
it exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all the subscriptions are a year. And so right now for 1 year for the entire school, it would be, it's $799 US.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we do this for each student, per student, I will have it there. Okay.
Say that again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And how does it work if it's a teacher subscription? The teacher can use it with his students.
Yeah. So if a teacher, if you signed up for one, well, first of all, we have free trials. So, we'd recommend that you can have people try it out and you get access. We don't limit the free trials at all. They would have everything. So grab a teacher or two and say, hey, look, try this out, check it out. Let me know if you like it. That's the way we want to set this up because we believe that it's very good. And I think that we will like it. So that's one way to ensure that it will help you. And I do think Hannah didn't show this, but all the data moves back and forth between Squidbooks and Google Classroom. So all the score data is going to go there so that they could use their gradebook inside of Google Classroom to view all of it. But yeah, so if you had a teacher plan, then that teacher would invite students into the class, just like they do in Google Classroom, and then all of their students could access it as well. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's excellent. Okay. Well, let's do the following. I'll try the free trial, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that. And can I invite one of my teachers or more teacher? Can we have a can I offer this to more than one teacher, or just
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
teacher per school?
Yeah, you can offer it to as many teachers as you wanted to. They could independently sign up for a free trial of the teacher plan. And I think the only thing we would probably, if you give us your email address, you could type it in the chat, then we could send you, the information, about how people can sign up and then the discounts and all that stuff. We could put a nice email together and put it all there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put it here.
Okay,
well, that's great. Let me see, just I'm using my mobile. Just okay.
We got it.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, excellent. If you send me some, okay. I don't know. I don't think you need to send me anything. I just can access and the link, okay, and start the free trial, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. And well, I'll do that. Okay, I'm very interested in learning more about your tool, this tool, and I'll invite my teachers. I'll show them next week because we have weekly meetings, right? And I'll show them and talk to them, and ask them to try with, okay, to know more about this resource, and then we can talk. If they like it, we can start it maybe next semester. Okay.
Yeah,
of course, I have to talk to my principal, and if they like it, I'll talk to him about it. Okay.
That's super. And then Hannah, just go back to the previous slide. We just say a couple of things about. So we're
Yeah.
always improving Squidbooks. You know, what we do is, of course, take feedback from students and from teachers. And these are some of the things that is on our roadmap. We're going to create more avatars for kids, and reward system, you know, where they will get squid stars when they complete something.
Yeah.
More science content, so about space toilets and fireflies. Diagnostic assessment, so that you could assess students at the beginning of the year, let's say on a particular area of science. It could be life science, earth science, or even an integrated combination of that.
Yeah.
And that will give you a profile of what students know and what teachers should teach. Also, for in the classroom, sometimes if teachers want to use a blended learning model where kids are actually using devices in the classroom, teachers have asked for, tell me if kids are using Squidbooks or not, like an activity monitor. What are they doing? Are they off in some video game somewhere, or are they playing Squidbooks? So we're building that. We're also building integrations with other learning management systems, although probably wouldn't be as relevant for you. And then we're building a way to like have Squidbooks adapt to the students as they learn and grow over time. Yeah,
that's great. Great, very interesting, very nice. The assessment, the diagnostic assessments can be done for us. We can use it not just for what they know about science, but also language. Okay.
Yes.
That they are learning English. Okay, together with science, right?
Yeah. Hannah, can you, or I don't know who has it. Maybe it could be Daniel too. I think we're probably good for the presenting the screen now. If somebody could.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Daniel. That's super. You have any other questions or suggestions?
No. That's great. Okay, very nice. I think it's an excellent idea, right? You had in developing this tool for teachers and students, because well, even more, we are working with blended learning and hybrid classes, right? You know, all about this pandemic made us well, we need to learn more about how to motivate the students, how to integrate, okay, like remote classes and presential classes, all this, and this is very interesting, because students can just be set down into a screen, right, a computer screen all day long. This is very tiring, right? Especially now, right, because they have to stay home. Here in Brazil, we are, well, especially in São Paulo and Campinas, where I live, our students are going back to school this Monday, right? We are going back presentially with 35% of the students only, right?
Okay.
And till now, we have been remote for 1 month, because we started the year presentially with 70% of the students now, but we had to go back, okay, to come back home, and our situation is not that good. I think you know something about Brazil now, and then we are trying to go back to schools, right? But many students will stay home yet, and this remote learning can be very tiring and very demotivating, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, we hope that we can help in some small way. You know, there's of course 100 other things that teachers have to do, but we're doing our best to make it fun and interactive and rigorous, you know, where kids are really learning science in multiple ways.
Okay. Well, excellent. And thank you for talking just to me, okay, now, but
We're glad you came. Yeah.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. And I hope to get in touch soon, right? So we can start some kind of partnership.
Yeah, that sounds great. I will say, I'll just have one more thing, which is, if you want, you know, if your teachers have any troubles when they're using it, have them email us. We'll get back with them straight away. And in addition, if you do like it and you want us, you know, set up a session where, and you want to move forward on subscription, you want us to give a presentation to all the teachers, we're happy to do that as well. So
Okay.
let us know, whatever we can do to help, we're here to help you.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and maybe I may invite our the principal, okay, to be with us,
Yeah,
and even the IT guys who help
Sure.
us, right, with this a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a nice weekend.
Okay, you
Thank
too.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess that will end our presentation as well, as since we don't have anybody else, but I hope y'all did a great job. I really enjoyed listening in on your presentation, and I hope that you get to enjoy the rest of your wonderful weather there in Washington State.
Thank you. Thanks for all
Thanks,
your help.
Daniel. And good luck with
Thank
your
you.
research on mentoring with firefighters or the fire department. That's really interesting.
Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.